Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In the next tutorial of the automation framework series, in this tutorial, I'm going to show and discuss how we create a data-driven test, how we use the data-driven concept and run your test. Let's first understand what is the data-driven concept. So basically, if we have one test and we need to run that test with multiple set of data, then this approach is concept is known as the data-driven testing. Like example, we have Magento application. In this application, you can see there are multiple users. Drop down they have added, but we can also get a user we can enter as an input field and then password as input field. So in that case, here we can check all these users login successfully or not, means these credential working or not. So in that case, we have one login test, but we have multiple test data. So here the test data is multiple users with different role, which we can run. We can run the login test to verify login functionality is working for all these users credential or not. Like if first I will go virtual, right? Enter the demo as a password 123, click on sign in. You can see I'm logging in successfully. Log out, then go and verify, check the second user, sign in, log in, log out. So in that way, we can go one by one and run the login test for all these credentials to check these functionalities are working, login functionality is working for these credential or not. I'm giving another example, like suppose that we have given user registration form where we need to fill information of the user and submit. So this user form we can fill with multiple users data. So suppose that we have 10 user data, so we need to submit those 10 user data with user registration form. So in that case, same steps we need to repeat for each of the users. This we can achieve by using the data-driven testing concept, where we have one scenario. That scenario we need to run with multiple set of data. Hope this is clear. What is the data-driven concept? Like before moving how we implement these features in the Java Selenium code. So if you are coming first time on my YouTube channel or you have not subscribed the channel, so please subscribe and click on bell icon so that you can get latest videos notification. Now let's move on the this how we implement data-driven concept. So in the same framework, I created one test login, right? If I go here in the login page, I have Magento login page where I have username and password are the locators as well as the function login function, verify login successfully and log out. In the verify login successfully, what I am doing after the login, I am going to verify these users is available, name is available here. And then clicking on the sign out to log out from the application. So if I run this test, you will see it will run for other extension credential. You can see other credential extension selected and then log out, run successfully. So test runs successfully for other extension user. Now, if we want to run this test for other user, so either we need to go with the manually update here the data and then we can run manually. So this will put a lot of effort like to update the data manually. But if we go with the data provider, which is provided by the TestNG, TestNG provides a data providers which we can use to perform the data-driven testing, means run one test with multiple set of data. So let's see how we implement data provider. So I'm going to create one class. Let's create one package, com.data. Here, creating one package, one class, basically. This is my data provider, right? Here we can create a data provider. So TestNG provide a annotation data provider. We can use this, and here we can give the name because data providers has only one attribute. So I can give the name data. This name we will call in our test. So data providers, if you know in more detail, so I have separate video in the TestNG, you can go and watch. And now here I'm going to just create a data provider. So data provider return the two-dimensional object. So let's return two-dimensional object array. Method name. So method name basically get data I'm giving. Okay. So here we need to create one object, two-dimensional array, and then put the data. Okay. So data, we can put all the users. So we have 10 users. Let's put all the 10 user records. Okay. And then return this object, obj. Okay. Now let's fill here the data, one data set, one row. So let's capture all these data, user data. First data. Second. So data provider here, I am creating this data provider with two-dimensional array of object. So let's fill only 6 data. Remaining we can also fill other data also. Now, password is same for each and every user. So let's give the password. So next, after logins in the test, so I'm verifying username, which is reflected here. Like first I'm checking this. This name I'm verifying. So let's add this as a third value. It has a demo other. For other extension, we can put demo other. Next, ACM. This is demo. Next is the estimated delivery date. So this is demo EDD. Next, user, let me log in, log out. Customer item stock alert. It has CISA. Conditional checkout. And last is the PWA. This is PWA. So in that way, we can add more data if needed without changing our test script. So let me add this data provider, call this data provider in our test script. So in that case, TestNG provide a attribute. Its name is data provider. Okay. Then here give the data provider name. So my data provider name is test data, which I given the name here. This is test data. This name we need to call in our test script. Next, we need to provide the class name, because class name data provider is available in different class, not the same class. So we can here use the data provider class equal to my data provider dot class. Okay. Now I applied the data provider here over the method. So this data provider has three set of values in one row: username, password, and user. So let's create here three variables in the method to receive the data. So first is user, second is password, and third is we can give the username. Okay. So user and password, user we can pass here. Password we can pass the second argument of the login app method. And then username we can pass here to verify after login. Now, if I run this test, it will run for each and every test data, user data, independently without impacting each other. Without impacting means if one test got failed, it will not impact on the other test. Other test will run as it is. So now I'm running the test and you will see it will run 8 times because we have 8 data, and then you will see the result. Yeah, virtual user login, log out, browser is closed. Again, launching the browser. We can run this all the 8 tests on one browser's instance. Once open the browser, log in and log out for each and every user. In that case, we need to manage our before setup under the before class. But once this pop-up is appeared, and right, that's why maybe this test failed. Let's see, because pop-up is appeared and it was unable to click on the user icon. So, but its result will not impact on other, because remaining other tests, you can see this is working successfully. Only one test is failed. This failure is not impacted on the next test result. Remaining these are failed, maybe due to the pop-up or something appeared. That's why these are also failed. But you can see here, the test is running for all the 8 set of data. Yeah, this is passed. And now it's running the last test for the last data. Now it's running for the last user data. It will select the PWA, login, and then it's log out. 4 passed, 4 passed, and 4 failed. So it's passed for 4 test data and failed for 4 test data, right? Why this is failing, we need to debug. Hope this is clear what is a data-driven concept and how we run the test with multiple set of the data by using the data provider of the TestNG concept. If you have any query, you can leave a comment and let's meet in the next tutorial. Thanks for watching the video.